Alright, welcome back Math 2 students. This is the tutorial for the 3.4 puzzle time. Again, still working with parabolas here. So a couple things. We're only going to focus on the parabolas. The even, odd, and neither we talked about in class, so I don't really want to go over those. The focus of the quiz really will be on parabolas, and that's what I want to make these videos sort of focused on. Okay, so vertex and axis of symmetry of the graph, blah, blah, blah. So this is the meat of the matter, okay? So vertex and axis of symmetry. Okay, so at this point what we want to recognize sort of is the different forms that we have. The standard form, vertex form, and intercept form. If you've forgotten these different forms, you can either look in the book, or if you want them all on one page, take a look at this. This page right here has all the different forms. This is our standard form, our vertex form, and our intercept form. Some useful information, as we saw in the last tutorial. There's how you find your line of symmetry for this. Also how you find the vertex, you use that. Vertex form, H and K, your vertex is right there. This is what we're going to focus on here. Okay. One of the key things we're going to focus on also is, notice it's x minus h, but you just take the h value. Let's get that out there. All right, K, you just take the K value. So what this means is, even though it's minus, you just take the H value, but with K, it follows whatever sign it was. In other words, you can think of the H as being opposite and the K as being regular. Okay, let's get back to our question here. Okay, whoops, wrong page. Okay, so our original equation here. So this one's not really exactly in standard form, vertex form. So let's jump up to one of these that is. Okay, in fact, number 6 is perfect. So we're going to go a little bit out of order here, but we'll jump into number 6 real quickly. Okay, so stick with me here and let's pull this up so I can write on it. Okay, let's maximize this. Okay, so here's number 6 again. So what we're going to try and do is take a look at this. Right below it, I'm going to write y equals ax minus h squared plus k. Okay, so looking at this, we got to compare these two and say, oh, okay, the vertex is hk. Okay, so whatever value for here, it goes for our x-coordinate, and whatever number is over here is our y-coordinate. So for R1, we just take the h, just take the 8, our h, and for this one, we take the sign that's with the 12, and that's just a positive 12. So that's our vertex. Okay, that's it. So other than that, the axis of symmetry that it's asking for, well, if you have your vertex, and you know this point is 8, 12, well, the line of symmetry, the axis of symmetry goes right through there. And where is it crossing at? Well, somewhere down here will be our xy axis. Where it's crossing at is crossing the x-axis. Where? Well, right there at 8. So x equals 8, that would be your equation for your line of symmetry. It has the same value as the vertex because the line of symmetry always goes through the vertex. All right. Okay, so let's run through the same idea with number 5, which is a little different. Again, our standard equation should be y equals ax minus h. Sorry. Yeah, plus. Okay, there we go. All right. We could do that better. But anyways, that's your standard, that's your vertex form of your equation. So when you have this, and this has a plus, but wait, our equation should have a minus. What the? So we're going to try and put it in this form. So what we'll do is the negative 7. Now to write plus 5 as a minus, we'll say minus a negative 5. See if you agree with that. The minus negative 5 is the same as having plus 5. So minus a negative 5 seems weird that we'd write it like that, but it will make sense. Same thing with the minus 6. We should write it as plus k, so I'm going to put plus a negative 6. Okay. So all I'm trying to do here is just have my form match this. So it's x minus something, and then plus something at the end. So the minus something, that's our x-coordinate of our vertex, and the thing here at the end, that's our y-coordinate for our vertex. This is important. If it's plus 5, because of the nature of our equation, the vertex will actually have an x-coordinate negative 5. However, if this is minus 6, we take that outside number exactly with the sign that it has. So if it's minus 6, that goes in as a negative 6. That's your vertex. Now, if you're in doubt, go ahead and throw this into Desmos and graph it, and you can verify that is the actual location of the vertex. Okay, so at this point we're going to jump to the bottom section of the page and go through one of these problems. And for ease, I'm going to go ahead and do number 13 first because it's just all positives. With the negatives, same exact steps, just go a little more carefully. Okay, so what this is, we're going to use this form of our equation. And we got two key points here. And we're just going to try and find out what equation would make a parabola that goes through those 2 points. Okay, it's actually easier than it seems. When you look at this, you have 5 variables. It's like, oh my gosh, there's too many variables. The only number I see is 2. Don't worry about that. There's 5 variables, but guess what? We have 4 numbers, so we're going to plug all those in. The main thing is the vertex is H and K by definition. Okay, let's let that focus. So 2 is your H, 3 is your K. So we're going to plug in a 2 here and a 3 here. All right. What about this 4 and this 11? Where'd those go? Well, that's just some random point, and any point has an X and Y coordinate. So the 4 is going to go in here, and the 11 is going to go over here. Now that we plug this in, let's go back here, right there. Now we plug this in, the only variable left is A. So we got to solve for A. The rest of this junk, just order of operations. Just go through and simplify. 4 minus 2 is 2, still S squared, and 3. Before you multiply them, you got to do exponents first. So 11 equals A times 4 plus 3. 11 equals A times 4. So we want to get A alone. So before we can get rid of this times 4, we're going to go minus 3, minus 3. Those cancel. And you got 8 equals A times 4. 8 is equal to 8 times 4, so divide by 4, and you get A equals 2. All right, there's your value. Now that's not your whole equation, that's just the value of A. To write our full equation, we've got to go back and do it this way. Y equals A is 2, so 2, and then X minus H squared plus K. So we need to fill in those values with the originals they gave us, which were 2 and 3. There's our 2 and 3. We're putting those in H and K, and we've solved for A. 2 and 3. That's it. That's your equation. End of story. So the rest of them are all exactly the same, with the one difference of you'll have negatives. Be very careful about those. But use your calculator, double check it. And the other thing you can do, throw this into Desmos, graph it, and double check. Does it go through those Does it go through those 2 points? What I'm trying to say. All right, that's it. You should now know how to do everything on 3.4 puzzle time. Bring any other questions to class if this is still not making sense, and we'll go over them in class. Thanks for watching.